Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to cover advertising and consumer culture, and I'm going to divide this lecture into three different parts addressing each of the reading materials. Let's start with the first one, which is talking about the ad that changed advertising. This is a very interesting article, especially for those of you who are majoring in advertising. And I'm pretty sure that for those of you who are majoring in advertising and have taken advertising history before, some of these concepts and some of the people that we're going to discuss today are going to be very familiar with you. All right, let's start from the beginning. Prior to World War II, advertisers' role was to buy and sell space in newspaper on behalf of their clients. And the ads that were published on newspapers at that time were mostly miracle products that were untrustworthy. However, that role began to shift significantly after World War II due to a booming economy. At that time, there were more brand varieties of the same products, and the development of the new technologies led producers to hire advertisers to help introduce, differentiate, and explain their brand. Rosa Reeves, who was an advertising executive, coined this term unique selling proposition, a term that it's still quite relevant until today, that basically highlighted a benefit of a product that other competitors did not have. So what he believed was that he believed that consumers were not irrational creatures and that research should be the basis of any advertisement. So this all may seem good, but on the other hand, he also was very suspicious of the idea of creativity. He believed that the purpose of an ad campaign was just to increase sale. So there's no need to be creative as long as the ad is effective. So one of the most famous ad that he created was the one that you could see on the picture here. It's about the Anacin and how the medication is unique and how it is better than aspirin. So, at that time, psychologists were hired to help understand the deep desires of the general public. The advertising agency used Sigmund Freud's theory in many of their advertisements. And basically, they believe that people want to achieve high status, and by imagining this high status they're able to boost sale and create demands. So unfortunately, by depicting a world full of stylish individuals who enjoy their life, there is this gap between what is going on in the reality and what is depicted in the ads. So at that time, there's this need for a new type of approach to advertisement, and that was what Bill Bernbach actually did with his team when they launched the Think Small Volkswagen campaign. He believed in concept-based advertising, in which an idea became the crucial ingredient of an ad. So his collaboration with his art director Helmut Krohn was able to create this campaign that is very different from the type of advertisements that you see at that era. So the Think Small campaign marked a very significant shift in the advertising landscape. The customers was trusted to be smart enough to work things out because the copy did not provide detailed explanation. And as a matter of fact, it is mostly about the image and only a little text that are provided there. So these ads spoke to the sense of disconnect that the general public was feeling as a result of being pressured to buy and consume for so many years. So not only did this ad got accepted very well by the general public at that time, it also became an integral part of the counterculture in the US. So what we see is that the Think Small ad has still has a big impact today. So stylistically, the ad started a shift from illustrations toward a greater use of photography, which a lot of ads are doing right now. And the use of font mattered and would continue to be used in corporate identities of later decades. And the job of copywriters shifted from merely explaining product features to actually determining the tone of voice of an advertisement. And most significantly, it showed that ad agency have the power to be creative in creating advertisements for their client. So basically, that's the gist of the reading on the Ad That Changed Advertising. And I do want to leave you with these 5 questions for you to think about and find the answers. So here are the 5 lecture check questions. The first one is, what made Volkswagen Think Small ads so revolutionary? The second one is, what caused the shift in advertising prior to World War II to post World War II? And then, who is Rosa Reeves and what was his role in advertising? Next question is, who is Bill Bernbach and what was his role in the creative revolution? And then, last but not least, how does Volkswagen Think Small campaign influence the ads in the later decades after its success in the late 1950s? All right, by being able to answer all of these questions, I think you are basically understanding this reading material. And this is something for you to think about. I will open a discussion forum and you can participate in them, but this is not a must for you because I understand that this week is a hard week for you and it's an adjustment period. So when you have the time, go and participate in the discussion questions that answers the lecture check questions. But if you do not, then just make sure that you prepare for your final exam because these exact 5 questions are going to appear again in your study guide for final exam. All right. Thank you, everyone.